Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic. Let's get it going here and see what we got for you, my friends. What do we got, my gods? Talk to me. Yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself, and at the very end I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Let's get this first card popping. What's going on for Taurus, please, guides? All right, it's being a little specific now, which I don't like it. I mean, I don't mind it. I do like it. Let's get it going. What do we got for Taurus? I mean, I do prefer the quicker card pops, but hey, message is the message. So we are getting something revolving around the sleep states or the mind. This is always tied very closely to sleep, so hopefully this isn't you having like insomnia or bad dreams, stuff like that. Could be other things. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But into the reading, enough of the promo. Have a look at this card. So you see this individual. It looks like they're wearing PJs, they have a nightcap on, there's dream catchers all around them and nonsensical things. So this does link into the etheric or dreamy. A lot of you could be trying, like living in the etheric world a little more than the material, right? You might need to ground down a little bit. You might be thinking in the mind. Could be meditating more than you're not, like more than usual. But when I see this card, it is very much closely tied to sleep, similar to the Four of Swords, similar to the Nine of Swords. So hopefully you're not having insomnia or sleep issues, but spirit could be trying to speak to you through the dreams, through dream states, sending you omens and signs. I always say keep a dream journal when this card shows up, but we're just going to put it down here. If that's not you, it might just be someone you're linked to that they can't sleep for whatever reason, or there's something bothering them, something on their mind. Let's get into tarot. It's interesting. I'm filled with like this frazzled type of energy here. So hopefully none of you are going through situations right now that have you like a little frazzled or your nerves are shot. Let's get this shuffled up. I'm going to get you 3 in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness. What's up for Taurus? Still using the Smith Tiny Tarot. Now, last week's reading I would say was pretty positive. The main name of the game last week was somebody wanting to speak to you about something. It was titled They Want to Talk. The week before that was a very positive reading, but there was somebody that might have been wanting to have a convo with you or to hear from you in some kind of way. So let's get 3 cards out here and see what we got this week. Once again, this frazzled type of energy. If not you, this could be someone you're linked to that is very like on edge about something. Let's get 3. And you know me, if you watch my readings, I rarely ever get frazzled like that. So we have the 10 of Wands here in position number 1. That links almost perfectly with the sleep card. This could be somebody with a little bit of a burden, a lot of weight on their shoulders. You might be super, super busy here. You might need some rest with that. Okay, we got the Queen of Swords. This is a very serious, stern type of energy. Could be an air sign you were linked to. All right, could be an older feminine energy in your life as well. Let's get one more. What do we got for Taurus? Thank you. Okay, yeah, so you're going to have a bonus here. You have double queens, so this is telling me that a lot of you could have a lot of things going on internally within yourself. We also have the 10 of Cups as a bonus, so it's interesting that we have repeating cards here this week, Taurus. We have 2 10s, we have 2 queens. 10s represent the close of a cycle, so a lot of you could be going through a transition of some sort, but the queens, all internal, lots going on. So let's go through, and I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get the juicy stuff. Position number 1, the 10 of Wands. A card of burdens. Like I was saying, this is somebody that might need to do some rest, recuperation, repairing the mind, body, and soul. Self-care, self-love is super important here. Some of you might just be extra busy, but this can be someone you're linked to that is feeling guilty as well. In its worst sense, this could be somebody with like crushing guilt. It could just be tiredness, right? You might just have a lot of weight on your shoulders. You're keeping it moving, you're keeping it trucking, but there's something a little heavy, a little burdensome. We're not going to focus in too much on that, but I do feel like it links to this card of rest and sleep that we had in the beginning, right? When the 10 of Wands shows up, I always say make sure you're taking care of specifically your neck, back, and spine. Some of you might need a rub down or a massage. Moving to the center, we have the Queen of Swords. This is air sign energy. So you might be linked to Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, older feminine figure here. When the Queen of Swords pops up, she is very honest. She is very stern. She is extremely no nonsense, cut and dry. She could be strategic, like see all the angles of things. So yeah, there is a little bit of planning involved with her, but when I say the Queen of Swords to me represents a tone of seriousness, it could represent issues, situations. We just have to see the clarifier here, but it is no BS, right? When I see her, no nonsense. She is the complete antithesis of the Queen of Cups that comes up right next to her. And we could kind of see a duality here, Taurus, between both tens and both queens, right? Because they're both like of a similar nature, but they're completely different. And I've been picking up this duality in like all the signs where there's like something that could go one way or another. Things are in flux, things are in a state of change. Nothing is set in stone. But on the back end, we have this Queen of Cups. Water sign energy. So you might be linked to Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. She is a mother figure, very similar to like the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, like she does represent fertility. I say she is the realm of emotion, how one might be feeling deep down on the inside. Sometimes she could represent somebody who is feeling things intensely, but they're not speaking about it. Okay, but she is about how one feels within. Between her and the Queen of Swords, we might have a tug of war between the mind and heart. A lot of you could be bouncing in that realm, like between logic and emotion, heart, mind. So we're just going to put her down here because she could either be someone I think the clarifiers are going to be extra important this week. And as your bonus, we have the Ten of Cups. This is a card of having it all. This could be focusing around family, the household, where you live, of course. But when I get the Ten of Cups, this is the prototypical happy ending wish fulfillment. So this tells me, regardless of what shows up in this spread, you have a lot to look forward to. Okay, there is still wins and victories that can be had when this card shows up. And it's a wish coming true at the end of the road. I love the Ten of Cups. It's everything, right? So with all that being said, let's dive deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify. Okay, so we're going to get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Taurus, please? My guides, talk to me. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message. It means I just tell you how it feels to me, so feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's see what's up with that 10 of Wands. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it down below. I don't mind at all. All right, 10 of Wands time. You won't be stepping on my toes, I promise. There's 10 of Wands here. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this is somebody who's affected. This is somebody that really, like, this should be a warning here. The Queen of Pentacles showing up in reverse. This is somebody that might feel like a rug has been pulled or something is very shaky. This is somebody that is feeling like they're walking on shaky ground, whether it's the newness of a situation or the weight of the past. Like, this is someone that feels like they're on shaky ground for whatever reason when the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse. Once again, triple queens showing up. So a lot of you could have a lot going on the inside, especially with this. We have like all the different elements starting to show up, and a lot of you, there could just be so much going on in your mind, in your heart, in your financial life. Like, there could be so much change and metamorphosis happening in this time, and it might be just a lot. You might be extremely busy. You really need to watch out for yourself and take care of yourself, especially if things are hectic, whether they're hectic within yourself or hectic in your outside world, okay? Watch out for financial issues with this as well, but we're going to keep it moving. This is a warning about your physical health. Okay, and it's like we're getting it all. We're getting the physical vessel, we're getting the mind, we're getting the heart. It's like it's firing on all cylinders, and Spirit really wants you to take care of yourself. Okay, or maybe this is how you're feeling towards somebody else. Maybe there's someone that you feel for and that you love, and you could see that they're not treating themselves too kindly. Let's move over to that Queen of Swords. Let's see why that Queen of Swords is here, please. Because like I said, she's very stern and serious in her ways. Oh yeah, this is somebody that is completely over some drama. There might be a situation or an issue you're going through right now that you're just like over it, or you're going to stop it with the Five of Wands in reverse, this is somebody saying like, okay, this is over and done with. I've had enough of this. I'm not going to entertain this anymore. This is, and I'm not saying like, if you're watching this for romance, I'm not talking about a connection or anything right here, but I get somebody who is completely tired of the way something is going, right? Like there might be people bickering and badgering each other, going back and forth, and it might seem very immature to you, but I'm getting somebody putting a stop. Like if there is something really bothering you, drama, games, BS, all that stuff, it's over. Like this is somebody who's like, I'm not going to feed into that anymore. I'm not going to allow this anymore. I'm putting my foot down. That's just the vibe I'm picking up here. I'm not conflicted with this Five of Wands in reverse under her. I'm not conflicted. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. This is going to end. All the people beating the crap out of each other with sticks, like I'm not going to abide that anymore. Like that's a vibe I'm picking up. So take from it what you will. This could be somebody who's like sick and tired, right? Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Let's move over to the Queen of Cups. Ooh, heavy. So we're going to see what's up with the Queen of Cups before we do a quick recap in the shadow card. This could be a lot of different things. So why is that Queen of Cups here? Thank you. I mean, we have the Knight of Swords underneath this Queen of Cups. Tons of court cards here, so I will first off say that a lot of you could be very popular individuals, and this time there could be a lot of people hitting you up, a lot of people affecting your energy, or just a lot of energies affecting you overall. Especially if you're an empathetic individual, just know like a lot of things could be influencing you, all right? But when I get this Knight of Swords, this could be a bit combative, right? And it's very fast moving. If there's something you've been feeling and like pushing down, stuffing down, there could be some sort of emotional eruption or explosion in this time, or where you just tell someone what it is, or you just let your emotions, you let your feelings out, right? Like I'm catching like a no filter, especially next to this Queen of Swords, right? The Queen of Swords, the Knight of Swords, they're surrounding this Queen of Cups. So there's so much going on emotionally, so much buildup, and someone possibly being fed up that they're just like, all right, no more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. Nice Gal. That's kind of a vibe I'm picking up here. But just know if there's something you're feeling strongly, or it's been an emotionally tumultuous time, that it could keep building up, building up, building up until it spills over, right? These are aggressive feelings, right? That's just the vibe. Of course, I want to point out that we have pretty much all the elements represented here in the zodiac, so I'm not just going to try to limit it like between an air sign, earth sign, water sign, fire. It's all here, all right? But I just feel for a lot of you, there's a lot of inner battles, inner turmoil. You might not feel a turmoil, but this could be somebody else that they have so much going on the inside here. You might need a break. You might need a vacation, my friends. Time to book a cruise or something. Let's go through and do a quick recap because there's a lot happening. In position number 1, 10 of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Notice we have 3 of the 4 queens out here. We have a Knight. We have all these energies, these people possibly. Even that 5 of Wands, tons of people. But this is a warning about your physical health and vitality. Of course, I was getting the vibe of someone feeling like they're on shaky ground, all right, like where something feels off, but just please take care of yourself, like your physical vessel. Moving to the center, we have the Queen of Swords with the 5 of Wands in reverse. This is somebody who is just over something. They're over it. They're not willing to play into any more games. Like, we're going to cut this nonsense out. Game over completely. Like, this is someone who's not willing to just play with anything right now. Like, I will not abide by this. I will not allow this. My foot has been put down. On the back end, we got the Queen of Cups with the Knight of Swords. And if this energy hasn't happened to you recently, just know in this week, somebody might take the authoritarian side out of you, right? Like, things might happen, things might pop off where you're just like very strict and stern in your ways. Queen of Cups with the Knight of Swords in the upright. Something builds up, and then boom, just erupts, overflows, explodes. That's like a big vibe I'm picking up here. And with all these queens, there's so much emotional. There's so much going on the inside. Let's get you a shadow card to see if we could get a tie-in. However, regardless of all that stuff I was talking about, that 10 of Cups on the back end still bodes well, right? Like, let's just keep moving here. A lot of you could be very strict in your ways in the coming days and weeks, but let's get one shadow card here. There could be a lot of people just annoying you a little bit, like their behaviors. Let's get a shadow card. I've been feeling so much like, I don't want to say frantic energy since the beginning, but there's a lot happening here. Okay, we have the Magician in the shadows, a card of creation, a card of control. And I do always say when the shadow side of the Magician shows up, it does speak about reverse manifestation. Of course, watch out for any sort of dark spirituality. Some of you might feel like someone has the evil eye on you when this Magician shows up in the shadows. So make sure you're protecting your energy. You're keeping yourself cleansed and protected here, grounded down. The Magician could also be about control. So whether you're linked to somebody that feels like they have to control every move, every action, like control freak individuals might really be bothering you in this time, okay? But it's also important to remember when the Magician shows up in the shadows that there are some things in life we can control, but there's some things that we can't, and that's okay. So Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. For the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful, adorable Smith Tiny Tarot. This is the deck I used in this week's readings. So if you'd like to get your hands on this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments which one of the cards from this week's readings you thought was most adorable. Which one do you like the best? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners in my community tab at random. As always, my friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.